For today's news story, I interviewed Miss Block, Micah, and Tyla about the 8th grade frozen science experiments. So, what items did you freeze with this experiment?
So we did a variety of experiments. We froze and preserved snowflakes, bubbles, hot water, cold water, and then as a side experiment, I froze a tiny pair of pants.
What items froze and which ones didn't?
So the snowflake preservation happened because Earth Science was studying crystal formation. And you use very cold supplies, and you can, if you do it correctly, preserve a snowflake perfectly in super glue or cyanoacrylate, which we can then, in a few weeks when they're fully preserved, study the crystal structure of them. We did get the bubbles to freeze. It took a little while. We had to reschedule our original experiment because it was actually, ironically, too cold, and we didn't want to get frostbite. So we did get the bubbles to freeze. We then did the hot and cold water, which you throw in the air. And as you can see in the video, the hot water froze. The cold water did not. On a side note, for safety, never throw hot water directly above you or at anyone, please, because if it is not cold enough, you will be hit with boiling water.
What would you say the students got from freezing all that?
What we wanted to see is the difference between hot and cold water and how crystallization is different. You need very hot water to make that experiment work because hot water is much closer to vaporizing. So you throw it into the air, it actually vaporizes and then crystallizes and snows out. A lot of students think that cold water, it should work even better, but it doesn't because cold water does not want to evaporate. It's not going to crystallize as quickly as the hot water vapor will. And then as a joke, I took a pair of pants and got them wet with hot water and froze them solid.
What was it like helping with the experiments?
It was extremely fun. We got to mess with bubbles and we got to watch Miss Block throw things in the air, and I'd just say it was extremely fun.
Which frozen thing that was frozen did you find as your favorite?
So my favorite was the bubbles because she would blow the bubbles and we'd have to go kind of like chase them, wait for them to freeze, and then you'd have to catch them without breaking them, and it was really cool. And we did get a perfect bubble. It was pretty cool. I got to catch a bubble and watch it freeze completely. It was really cool.
Did you have fun with the freezing experiments?
Are you talking like the freezing the bubbles stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, that was fun. I got to catch the bubbles and make them freeze on the stick because I was one of the only ones who actually got to go out because I had full winter gear and stuff. So.
What would you say is your favorite part of the experiments?
Probably learning about water's freezing point, which we did in this classroom, or probably watching the bubble freeze. You could like watch it crystallize part by part.
This concludes today's news story. Have a great Monday, everyone.